Speaking of record-breaking quarters, Pat, can we move on to HP?
Let's do that.
All right, buddy. So HP also earnings yesterday, and the company was able to announce a 19 million unit quarter for its PC business, record breaker. Also a record breaker for its print unit with 12 million units. So, and Pat, you said this under Dell, but this was a really big thing, driven by the consumer. So what's my take on that? Well, essentially, here's what I think kind of happened is early in the pandemic, the enterprises made big waves of purchases for PCs to get remote workers at home. Basically pulling on all the demand, completely bottling up the supply chain, stressing all the chip makers, just trying to meet demand. And now what's starting to happen is you're starting to, I think, see a wave. And the next wave is now consumers, as the economy is improving, as some cash flow in the home is improving, people have realized their dependence on the PC. HP has a slogan they call the PC is essential. And PCs are becoming more and more essential. And as the prices continue to go down, as the product quality continues to go up, people are wanting to refresh their PCs. And whether that's for their kids and the students in the house, whether that's to make sure that they're always connected for productivity. And of course, with streaming and gaming, we're doing more and more of our entertainment on our PCs instead of on televisions and whatnot. So I think all these things are really driving the business forward. A couple of just side notes about the company as a whole. I was really encouraged by the bullish forecast that the company put forward. It had a forecast well above guidance for next quarter, but it also had a big increase. It increased its div by 10% going forward, which was a pretty big, bold move given the circumstances right now as well, Pat. So you had strong guidance, you have an increase in the div, and you have basically a record-breaking quarter for a company that kind of fits in a market where people have said, oh, the PC's dead. Well, guess what, everyone? The PC is far from dead, as is the printer business, because apparently people are spending money on printing. And based on the several requests I've gotten for shipping labels to be printed by my daughters and wife today, apparently printing is still very in vogue in the Amazon era. So that's what I got on HP. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, so you left me a little bit. Which I didn't leave you much on Dell, but you found a way to make something of it. Yeah, the consumer printing up and commercial printing down made a ton of sense to me. The challenge, though, is that the expense and the margin structure for commercial printing is better than consumer printing. Now, HP is in a multi-year effort to equalize that a little, particularly when it comes to the price of the printer and the price of ink, because a lot of people have come along and typically out of Asia to make fake ink that goes out in there that isn't environmentally sound or friendly, but it's cheap, and some people want cheap. I was really happy to see the big gains in gaming, premium, and accessories. Those are areas where you have to make money, and I think their level of profitability reflected that. The good news is that printers weren't off a cliff. I mean, it's been a tough tough road to hoe in printing, because if you remember, just back a few years, I mean, printers were where a lot of the money was made, and there's still a lot of the operating profit. Just to show you comparison, 713 million this quarter for print, and PCs were 528 million, including accessories. So printing still is bringing in the op ink, just not as much as there had been.